All right, how's everyone feeling this evening? All right, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm gonna start this thing. We're a little 15 minutes late, but I usually try to wait and let the crowds come in. But the summertime is usually very beautiful, so people take their time getting in here. My name is Al, and we're here with the Greater Flint Creative Alliance, and every month we do this thing called the Creative Collab Nite, hosted right here at the Good Beans Cafe. Please give it up for Ken in the back, holding down the sound. So I do encourage you to get your fill of coffee and tea and other sort of beverages. And sign-up sheets right here. The rules are you can do anything you want, and we're pretty cool with anything and everything, so I'm very happy to see some folks here already. All right, I'm gonna get it started off. I actually have 3 songs prepared, and all of them have a theme, and the theme is this sort of this really famous, within my family, my folks went on a road trip in the 70s, and they only had like 3 or 4 cassette tapes. Cassette tapes were the latest thing back then. They only had 4 of them the whole trip, so they drove from Flint to Las Vegas in an old beat-up truck for however long, and they listened to the same songs over and over and over again. So growing up, whenever one of those songs popped up, my mom or my dad would say, "Oh, this reminds me of the road trip." So growing up with all those, this is kind of an ode to them. Okay. And I'm gonna play probably the most difficult one first. It's from the Marshall Tucker Band. Stalling, actually.
You need another rubber band, don't you?
I ain't never been with a woman long enough for my boots to get old. We've been together so long, they both need resold. If I ever settle down, you be my kind. It was good, now head on down the line. I heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. Can't be wrong. I'm the kind of guy who likes to get away, like start dreaming about tomorrow today. Never said I loved you, even though it's so. Where's the duffel bag of mine? It's time to go. I heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. It can't be wrong. Dawn. You could come, but I don't need a woman tagging along. be another year. I'd start crying if I saw tears. I heard it in a love song. I heard it in a love song. Heard it in a love song. And it can't be wrong. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. There's only about 3 songs in the whole road trip, or 3 artists in the whole road trip. So Marsh Tucker Band was one of them, and Linda Ronstadt is another one. That's what this is. I feel so bad, I got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time. Since I left my baby behind on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine. Looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. Back someday, come my way, up by you, where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou, where those fishing boats and those sails afloat. If I could only see the familiar sunrise with happier eyes, on how happy I'd be. Gonna see my baby again. Gonna be with some of my friends. Maybe I'll feel better again on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine. Looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou, where those fishing boats and their sails afloat. If I could only see the familiar sunrise, the sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. If I could only see the familiar sunrise, the sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be.
By the way, Linda Ronstadt cut a Spanish language version of that Boy Orbison song called Abbasspour.
Waco?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can't pull that off. Just improv Spanish translation.
I'll have to first.
Come what may. Right, of course, any road trip where you head out west in the 70s, you kind of have to listen to the Eagles. It's kind of a rule. One of these nights, one of these crazy old nights, we're gonna find out who knows. The full moon is calling, the fever is high, the wicked wind whispers and moans. You got your demons, you got your desires, well I got a few of my own. One of these lost and lonely dreams, we're gonna find you, one that really screams. I've been searching for the daughter of the devil himself. I've been searching for an angel in white. I've been looking for a woman who's a little of both, so I can feel her all through the night. Ooh, someone better find you in between the dark and the night. Ooh, come on right behind you, swear I'm gonna find you one of these nights. Thank you. That's my piece.
Got a little Bee Gees in you.
Yeah. You can ask Allie. I've been practicing all week. All right, thank you. Once again, my name's Al. Sign-up sheets right here, so please feel free to add what you must to this evening. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I believe Gary is gonna entertain us. So please give it up for Gary.
Okay, before I read my piece, a couple of things. First of all, on the broadside front, the deadline that they decided upon for the next issue for submissions is the end of this month, and the next issue will have an education theme. Of course, my next piece will be about Burston Fieldhouse's 90th anniversary, and the last Saturday of this month they plan on a big celebration for that significant event at Burston. Of course, I'll be there with camera in tow to take some pictures, and the piece is about half done, but when I take in the event, that will allow me enough material to finish that piece. On my books front, Remembering Flint, Michigan, I'll read a piece from that book tonight. On my book's Facebook page, shared some news. If you've been at the corner of Clio and Pasadena the past couple of days, you probably noticed that the landmark donut shop is gone. They tore it down yesterday. But don't panic. They're going to replace it with a new combination Dawn Donuts and Subway. And that landmark sign will stay in place. Now, for the piece I'll read from my book, first I should mention that this is the final Collab Night before Back to the Bricks next month. And Back to the Bricks is kicked off by Bricks Flicks at the US 23 Drive-In Theater, which they're now calling it the US 23 Digital Drive-In Theater because they've installed digital projectors for all three of the screen towers this year. And the Bricks Flicks movie this year is a good one, Grease. So Now I'll read my piece from the book about Flint's drive-in theaters. In fact, it was because of what happened in 1997, the arson fire that destroyed the US 23 drive-in's original wood screen tower with the steel framework. When the owner, the late Lou Warrington, decided to rebuild, that's when I took pictures of the replacement screen's construction. I'll talk about that in the course of the book. Now, I submitted to Jenny a photo of the drive-in screen tower, the replacement one, being hoisted into position. I'll just show it to everyone. And read my piece about Flint's drive-in theaters. On June 6, 1933, just saying, that was 80 years ago, Richard Hollingshead opened the first drive-in movie theater in Camden, New Jersey. 13 years later, on August 29, 1946, Flint got his first taste of watching movies in the comfort of one's own car. Until the end of the 2008 season, the Flint area was totally unique in that it had two competing drive-in theaters in business. In many areas of the country, there are none left. It seems natural that in a city built on automobiles, we can still enjoy movies in our own private, comfortable seating areas. The difference now is that instead of listening to the movie using the classic in-car speakers hanging from the speaker poles, you can now hear the music in FM stereo on your car stereo system as well as on a portable FM radio. The last remaining drive-in theater still in operation is the US 23 drive-in theater with 3 screens at G5200 Fenton Road in Mundy Township. The US 23 opened in 1951 and was operated through 2008 by the Warrington family who built the drive-in. It added a second screen in 1986. The original screen was destroyed in an arson fire in 1997 but was quickly replaced. The third screen was added in 2009. There were once several drive-in theaters in operation in the Flint area. The first one was called the Drive-In Theater and later dubbed the Dort Drive-In Theater. It opened in 1946 at the corner of South Dort Highway and Atherton Road where the Dort Mall now stands. It was co-founded by William Ollickson and William Rice. Ollickson would later buy out Rice. In 1947, Ollickson built a second drive-in located west of Flint on Corona Road, appropriately called the West Side Drive-In Theater. It was located where the Health Plus office building now stands. The success of Ollickson's drive-ins inspired competition. Jerry Shinbox and Robert O'Fredley opened the Flint, later called North Flint Drive-In Theater at G6101 North Saginaw Street, north of Coldwater Road, 1948. Balancing out the location of drive-ins around town was Louis Warrington Sr.'s and Lee Stoller's aforementioned US 23 drive-in south of Flint in 1951. Warrington would later buy out Stoller's interest in that drive-in. In 1955, all the drive-ins had their huge screen towers had wings built to make the screens wider to accommodate widescreen movies. Flint got its own drive-in that same year when the Silver Drive-In was built at the corner of Silver Lake and Jennings Road by Almond Sears. In 1956, Ollickson built the Northland Drive-In at G7192 North Dort Highway. It was the only drive-in built in the Flint area with a curved screen to better view widescreen movies. Located where a now closed wholesale auto auction facility is located, the Northland was also the first local drive-in equipped with in-car heaters, allowing the Northland to be open year-round. Because drive-in theaters require several acres of land, they were generally built outside of town where land was cheaper. So when the metropolitan areas grew, the land around the drive-in theaters was developed, making the drive-in sites prime real estate. It soon reached the point where a drive-in's income was less than it would be if the land was put to other uses. That was the downfall of 2 of the drive-ins in the 1960s. The Dort was torn down in 1963 to make room for Flint's first indoor shopping center, the Dort Mall, which Ollickson developed. Ollickson did build a replacement drive-in, the South Dort Drive-In, 2 miles south of the old location at the corner of South Dort Highway and Maple Avenue in Grand Blanc Township. The other drive-in that was lost in the mid-1960s was the North Flint, which was replaced by a Kmart store that has since closed. While the Northland Drive-In survived the 1953 Beecher tornado with only minor damage, it could not survive commercial encroachment. In 1964, Olixon sold his drive-in theaters to the W.S. Butterfield Theaters chain, which was the dominant theater operation in Flint at that time. The theater chain that would eventually overtake Butterfield Theater's dominance in the Flint area opened its first theater, a drive-in, in 1973. National Amusements, led by Sumner Redstone, built the Miracle Twin Drive-In near the M21, now I-69, Galaxy Road exit. The Miracle Twin was a year-round drive-in like the aforementioned Northland, South Dort, and the retrofitted US 23. But by the late 1970s, high energy prices and the decline in the youth population forced the year-round drive-ins to go seasonal one by one. The US 23 was the first to go seasonal in 1972. The Northland was closed for the season during the winter of 1975-76. The co-owned South Dort closed the following year for the winter of 1976-77. The last holdout was a Miracle Twin, but it started closing for the season in the winter of 1979-80. The 1980s was a bad decade for drive-ins in general, as many of them closed for redevelopment. Butterfield Theater sold most of its theaters in 1985. Two of its drive-ins, the South Dort and West Side, were sold for redevelopment. The South Dort's prefabricated 60 by 120-foot screen tower was salvaged and sold to US 23 Drive-In, which built a 38 by 76-foot second screen using the tower parts. US 23 had planned to eventually build a third screen, but the 1997 fire that destroyed US 23's original screen tower led to the construction of the replacement screen using the remaining tower parts. US 23 twin screens 1 and 2 were both derived from the South Dort Drive-In screen. The Mass Transportation Authority's Grand Blanc facility, Creative Foam Corporation, and John Deere Landscapes now occupies the former South Dort Drive-In site. The Northland stayed open for 2 more seasons before a decline in business led to that drive-in's permanent closing in August 1986. In terms of booking movies, the single-screen Northland was at a comparative disadvantage compared to the Miracle Twin and US 23 drive-ins, each with 2 screens. The Silver Drive-In in Fenton also closed permanently in 1986. It was torn down the following year to make way for the Silver Lake Village development. In January 2008, second-generation US 23 owner Lewis Warrington Jr. suffered a heart attack that left him homebound. His wife Diane ran the drive-in that year, but there were concerns about his future. After Labor Day 2008, the Miracle Twin Drive-In closed permanently, as did National Amusement's other main drive-in in Louisville, Kentucky. Warrington died on February 18, 2009. There was talk of the family running the drive-in for one final year before selling it, but they decided not to sell. Lou Warrington III, who lives in Texas, signed a 5-year lease agreement with another operator who began making improvements to the US 23 drive-in before it opened for the 2009 season. As you enter the drive-in to take in a movie, you will notice that this neon attraction board was fully restored, including the chase lights and animated arrow, both of which had not worked for several years. The in-car speakers were removed. FM stereo radio sound is used for all movies. The screens were painted, new box offices were built, the projection equipment was fully automated, the restrooms were improved, and the refreshment stand was renovated. The third screen was added in August 2009, built using new shipping containers. The US 23 Drive-In Theater shows first-run double features on 3 screens and is open on weekends from April to Memorial Day. It is open nightly through Labor Day and on weekends through October. And of course, the US 23 Drive-In has a website as well as a Facebook page, so you can keep tabs on what's going on at the drive-in. And once again, the drive-in has just been updated. It has all digital projection, and the screen, the image, it looks better than ever with that now brighter look on the 3 screens. So that's my piece for this month. Thank you very much, and thank you again.
Creative Line shirts, yeah.
Stop! Don't steal that shirt, not when you can buy one for only $10.
Only $10? What a deal!
That's right, only $10 for a Creative Alliance glow-in-the-dark t-shirt. And you can get them by ordering them, mailing this address, or you can come to a Creative Alliance Collab Night at the Good Beans Cafe in Flint every 3rd Wednesday at 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Or you can get one out of Gary's truck.
The Greater Flint Creative Alliance is not responsible for the contents of this commercial. That was not a body in Gary's trunk, and no poets were harmed during the filming of this message.
Just buy a freaking shirt!
This particular song actually originated as a poem. So, not all the colors of a rainbow can be found inside a prism. Like that shade of red in your head when you've been fed too much criticism. Tastes bitter, bitter like acid in your system. It settles where that stain on your shoulder like some dishonorable metal. Frowning and compounding while the situation worsens till you're left with this anthem. I am not a nice person. I'm not a nice person. Somebody picked up a rock and they hurled it full force right at you. Your defenses were such that you reacted just like a statue. Someone else picked up kindness, gift wrapped in a frame. Your defenses were such, you reacted much the same. Your insides all callous and cursing, dancing to this anthem. I am not a nice person. Despite the urging of your surgeon, you grab the scalpel from his shelf. You cut one deep incision, and then you scream, suit yourself, suit yourself, suit yourself. See, I too once lived on that street, in the same house I did reside. But I had to move out 'cause it was destroying me from inside. No, I didn't really move out, I was more like evicted. See, my friends all pointed out it was all self-inflicted. So if you find you're taunted by this phantom, I am not a nice person. Don't pay the ransom. Find a new anthem. Find a new anthem. All right. I feel a little off tonight, so
Sound good back here.
well, thanks. This song is, I had actually practiced it up earlier today, but it's inspired by a song selection today made for his, I think it was his middle piece. Yes, his middle piece today. Mr. Al Harris, who does a great job at the host here, his piece, Blue Bayou. This is a song I wrote when I was, about 29 years ago, when I was 19, 20 years old. And it's loosely based on my experience of living in the rural north of Standish. And it's called The Bayou. It's about isolation and sure I want it. That's gonna go flying. That's good for now. go with the, I think this capo position is better for me. So wet spring in the desolate north, curiosity pulls you deep. Trees and stream call you forth and they claim you as their keep. Soft ground paths of golden brown, the rise and fall of the hills. Troubles lost, solitude found, cool wind kicking out chills. Ooh, oh, the bayou. Take a walk in the bayou. Ooh, the bayou. Clear your head in the bayou. Getting lost within yourself, climbing over the hill. You know there is no one else, yet you see a bayou girl. You sitting talking things work out all right. You share the setting of the sun, make camp set up for the night. In the morning she is gone. Ooh, oh, the bayou. Take a walk in the bayou. Ooh, the bayou. Clear your head in the bayou. Late autumn in the real world north, chills freeze you deep. Icy flatlands call you forth and they claim you as their keep. Trapper man makes the dough, living for the high. But bayou man and no one knows, spends his life inside. Inside the bayou. Take a walk in the bayou. Ooh, the bayou. Clear your head in the bayou. I think that worked. This song here I wrote, this is going to be for those of you guitar slingers out there, this is just going to be a little 2-chord song. There's nothing more than 2 chords in this song. I wrote it in the late 80s as a protest against my boss. I'm going to dedicate this tonight to my buddy Jim Hamrick. I wrote this in '89 and I first played it out in '93 at an open mic in Sylvia Joe's Wagon Wheel on the east side. And shortly around the time I performed it out, there was a song with a similar title recorded by a country singer named Pam Tillis. So I've got a little, we deal with the metaphor a little bit differently, the wordplay a little bit differently in our 2 songs. And one last thing, the third verse of the song, when I would perform this song at Borders, and I hosted an open mic at Borders for 10 years, when I performed this song at Borders, I had to explain that the very last word in the verse, not the chorus, but the last word in the verse of this song was spelled with the letters A-S-P, excuse me, A-S-P. And because I didn't really want to be accused of cursing or anything like that. All the priests. That's not the right position. Let me see what I can do. That's too low. It's called Cleopatra of Denial. All the priests and all the pharaohs bathe in the muddy water on their way to Cairo. They feed her chocolates, they buy her grapes, and build idols in her honor and worship her sweet, sweet shape. Cleopatra, Cleopatra, goddess of power and goddess of wealth. Cleopatra of denial. How can you stand to live with yourself? Oh yeah. Day, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, then back to work, stacking bricks into pointed, silly towers. It's routine without relief. Another day out in the desert, while she entertains the emperor, belly dancing with a lizard. Cleopatra, Cleopatra, goddess of dark. Cleopatra of denial. What a hell of a way to leave your mark, oh yeah. I'm a lowly slave in this mighty empire. She can call it a family, but then I'd have to call her a liar. I pray to the sun, and it's held from my grasp, handed over freely to everyone who kisses her ass. Cleopatra, Cleopatra, yeah, it's a shame you changed your name. Cleopatra of denial, but the history books still read the same. All right.
Right.
All right, please give it up for Brian. Gary has an announcement.
This Sunday I'm doing a book signing. It'll be at Soberfest at the Union Ball Field on Torrey Road by Bishop Airport. I'll be there from 11 to 5 to sign copies of my book. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Paulie's going to be there too with artwork, so it's going to be art and writing and probably music too, right?
Oh yes, it'll be
It'll be a big festival.
it'll be fun for the entire family.
Yeah.
The Oktoberfest.
No,
This is Soberfest.
Soberfest.
Sober. Yeah, it's in the ball field by the airport.
Okay.
Here's some songs that's kind of a medley of a couple different songs back in the rockabilly period. Which I grew up in, and the stuff sounded a little bit like this. Well, I left my home down on the rural route. Told my pop I'm going stepping out. I got the honky-tonk blues. The honky-tonk blues. Oh Lord, I got 'em. I got the honky-tonk blues. Well, I went to a dance and wore out my shoes. Woke up this morning wishing I could lose the honky-tonk blues. The honky-tonk blues. Oh Lord, I got 'em. tonight. Yeah, I heard the news, there's good rockin' tonight. I'm gonna hold my baby as tight as I can. Tonight she'll know I'm a mighty, mighty man. I heard the news, there's good rockin' tonight. Well, come along, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Come along, baby, baby, you can't go wrong. I ain't faking, whole lot of shaking going on. Well, come along, baby, we got chicken in the barn. Come along, baby, really got the bull by the horn. We ain't faking, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. I'm gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He claimed he got the misery, but he having a lot of fun, oh baby, having me some fun tonight. We ain't faking, a whole lot of shaking going on. She built sweet, she got everything that Uncle John needs, oh baby, having me some fun tonight. We ain't faking, a whole lot of shaking going on. Well, I heard the news, there's good rockin' tonight. Well, I heard the news, Alice are rockin' tonight. I'm gonna hold my baby as tight as I can. Tonight she'll know I'm a mighty, mighty man. I heard the news, there's good rockin' tonight. I heard the news, there's good rockin' tonight.
Thank you. Well, that's where I come from, the rockabilly stuff. No, I've mentioned before that I don't advocate the use of drugs, but I do advocate the use of singing songs about drugs. That doesn't bother me at all. Actually, with the kind of day I had, I probably could have used a little something. Yeah, if you know what I mean, right, Al?
Yeah.
Anyway, this song's kind of, you know, when the Beatles were together, Paul McCartney and John Lennon did most of all the vocals, the lead singing that you hear on those records. And every once in a while they would throw Ringo a bone, you know, I guess just to pacify him. And Ringo was a pretty good singer and a great drummer, actually. And this is one of the songs that they threw to him. I'm not sure if he wrote it or not, but anyway, it's called the No-No song. It's kind of cute. I've always liked this song. A woman that I know just came from Colombia. She smiled because I did not understand. Then she held out some marijuana, She said it is the best in all the land. And I said, no, 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 I don't smoke it no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No thank you please, that only makes me sneeze. Then it makes it hard to find the door. A woman that I know came from Mallorca, Spain. She smiled because I did not understand. Then she gave me a little bit of cocaine. She said it is the finest in the land. And I said, no, 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 I don't, no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No thank you please, that only makes me sneeze. Then it makes it hard to find the door. A man I know just came from Nashville, Tennessee, oh. He smiled because I did not understand. Then he handed me some moonshine whiskey on. He said it is the best in all the land.
And I said, no, 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 I don't drink it no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No thank you please, it only makes me sneeze. Then it makes it hard to find the door. I said, no, 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 I don't, no more. I'm tired of waking up on the floor. No thank you please, it only makes me sneeze. Then it makes it hard to find the door. A little bit of truth in some of that. The no-no song.
Ringo sang it after the Beatles broke up and Hoyt Axton wrote it.
That how it went? Well, every once in a while they would give Ringo a song, and he usually had pretty good success with it, you know. And yeah, I'm familiar with Hoyt Axton. It's the kind of thing he would write for sure. Kind of like Shel Silverstein that wrote all those songs for different artists.
I think Hoyt Axton's biggest song I think was Sweetheart Next Joy to the World.
Yeah, those were his big top 40 hits, yeah. Okay, got one more here. I'm not sure if I've done this song down here before or not. Jenny might remember because she's a dog lover and she does all these stories about dogs. And this song is in regard to dogs. Actually, the more that you're around people, I find that the better dogs look to you, but well, that could just be my perspective. I mean, I don't mean romantically. No. Anyway, you know, dogs have that unconditional love, no matter what kind of a day you've had. Maybe you just got fired from your job, or your wife ran off with a young lover, or maybe you just killed 3 people and the law is looking for you. Yeah, that's a bad day.
Telling us something.
Yeah, but when you get home, that dog is waiting for you, that tail's going. He don't care what happened. He loves you unconditionally, no matter what you've done. And I guess people could take a little bit of a lesson from that, huh? He never tells me that he's sick of this house. He never says, why don't you get off that couch? It don't cost me nothing when he wants to go out. I want you to love me like my dog does. He never says I need a new attitude. Him and my sister ain't always in a feud. When I leave the seat up, he don't think that it's rude. I want you to love me like my dog does. When I come home, I want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. I want you to love me like my dog does. He never acts like he don't care for my friends. He never asks me, where in the hell have you been? He don't play dead when I wanna pet him. I want you to love me like my dog does. He never says, I wish you made more money. He treats me like I am his bestest buddy. I want you to treat me like my dog does. He don't get mad at me and throw a major fit when I say his sister is a bitch. When I come home, I want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. I want you to love me like my dog does. Want you to love me like my dog does. Yeah. Thank you much. Appreciate your attention.
The next guest is going to be Alex Markoff. So please give it up for him.
Hi. 3 poems, all of which take place in childhood. A likeness. The magic book of nightlight and the yearning book of crying comes well before the young being and a being never broken. The only white boy in the classroom sits in the back. The art of Dr. Martin Luther King, the visual lesson, the art of the daydream, and of seeing the like of a likeness. The mulatto girl sits 2 desks down. Her name is Kristen. The single Valentine has more "Won't you be mine," a list of colors and the solitary line. Subtract him, but only if he's stronger than the rest of us combined. The boy is stuffed beyond contentment, very much replete. The running beat of the playground, the resting beat that pacifies them. As nap time begins, they truly are the acquired music of Beethoven. She looks behind her and smiles. In the orchestra's soft, dark room, this is the closest they will ever be. The born unchosen are not unlike the born. The crossfire doesn't breathe. There is no other way. A fistful of heat and the blossom doesn't arrive. The news that lingers and the remains of her murder. A fist clenches, hotter than hot. The asphalt and the jungle gym, the clap followed by the ball and the clap. The children's musical playing was once such a part of, was once so much made up of. The day after 4th of July. The day after the 4th of July. On a summer of the massive loaded gun, the boy and the firecracker fire. The fat, rocket-shaped container filled with smaller fireworks has no fuse to light, but that doesn't mean it has no potential. 2 alleys down, the show is still a thick column of smoke and the occasional bead of light. Mosquitoes of dynamite tap at the steel belly of the trash can and fizzle out, blind and blocked off. That afternoon, a tightly wound pack of shorties went off like a machine gun, but all it did was explode and annihilate shit until it stopped. As the neighborhood graduates from firework to firecracker to firework of cracking even higher, the younger children still don't tease the boy, even though he prepared them for a spectacle like the one downtown, only right above your head. What we have here, at least, is a supercharged concoction, the hot vomit of flares and flashes enveloped by mysterious smoke. The rumor is that Big John has come up with a cherry bomb, but you have to step back. The rumor also is that a kid downtown blew his hand off with one of those things. What were his powers? There had to be at least one. A forgotten ability does not work or run or hop. He remembers only fragments of what was lost or poked free. All this talk of flying does not work, even with the speed of a thought at racing speed. Mania wouldn't be mania if it actually worked. That night's engine, although not removed, has cleansed itself of stars. As one escapes him, he thought it was the girl, he thought it was the weed. The antidepressants were indeed working. He was headache-free. He thought it was the way his friends cupped individual fires in a circle of illuminated faces. The suddenness of a police siren on a side street, and the teenagers pick things up and scatter across the unlit field. The silence and the comet and the boombox turned off, and the baggy pants and the tattoo that did not appear on his arm that night when he walked across the city in a t-shirt in the middle of winter. The long, cold runway, the monument as it was built in order to be demolished, a plume of dust, massive and weightless, no little lightnings, no color, tasteless, cannot expand past the walls of the remainder of his years.
Hey, I'm Mike. Thank you all for coming out. Can't wait to see the other guys. The heart of the world held in your hands, shining like sun, just roughing out the edges. Oh, would you bring it back for me? Sail a sunken ship, lay me in a burning blanket. There's something in the water, something in your hand. So dip me in the oil and watch me dance. Long forgotten, young part of history. I didn't say much, least I got to speak. Long forgotten, young part of history. I didn't say much, least I got to speak. I didn't say much, yeah. These gravestones have been too long, far too long. There's something in the water, something in your hair. Dip me in the oil and watch me. It's safety sincere, drowning in worm, fishing through wastelands, the perfect world. Yeah, yeah, leave what you leave behind. Yeah, leave what you leave behind. Oh, leave what you leave behind. Yeah, yeah. long forgotten young part of history. I didn't say much, least I got to speak. I didn't say much, least I got to speak. I didn't say much, least I got to speak. I didn't say much, least I heard you speak. That one was called Safety Soothsayer. Birds at my window, birds at my bed, they never sing the song, it's only in my head. The veggie from my paintings still at my steps. I got too much to lose, not enough to give. Yes, all my life I've waited for this, all my life I've waited for this. Yeah, all my life. This bullet's from my brother, it's for killing men, no matter what the cost, or how the future ends. Finger paint the skylines, paradolias. I hope someday we'll see them, see how well we've done, see how well I've done. Yes, all my life I've waited for this, all my life I've waited for nothing, nothing. Yeah, all my life. We can finger paint skylines with paradolias. Sweep under the earth, sleep under the sun. I hope someday you'll see them, see all we've done, see how we're there for you really are. Thank you. This is a newer one I'm going to try out for you guys. Mother bird has become your wings, but they're large and awfully tired of me. They took their first chance they could get, took to the sea, but never took me with them. Never took me with them. Now I will fall and I will sing down to the bottom of my mind. But don't you ever go tired of me. Tired of me. Chase me round and round this house for miles. This house for miles and miles and miles and miles. Passed it on to you. Don't you wear a frown, 'cause when you pass a smile to you, yeah, on to you. Sleep, waking every hour, alone, alone. Yeah, I've been around, speaking out of sleep, waking every hour, waking every hour. Daddy cared. Well, my wings gone, who'll take my lamb?
Hello everybody. Hey. Hello. My name is Harrison Robertson Jr. And I come in tonight, I'm gonna take y'all way back. I do a philosophy, you know, I take my imagination, I form an image, and I profile that I do that prophet type stuff, like way before y'all were born, way before the creation of the universe, way before the creation of God. I go way back like that. I got some powerful stuff in here. I'm gonna start reading it. Okay, greeting. My name. Greeting. My name is Harrison Robertson Jr. And I came here tonight to unfold the secret of things unknown to the mind. A message that will educate you and you become wise like a prophet hidden deep off in a world unknown to man. The thing you may experience may uplift your spirit and your soul will become filled with pride. Because the mind is a golden experience filled with magic. And that magic has opened the reason to explore worlds that are deep off in the imagination of things that are deep off in the mind. I recreated something here that no one have ever done. I have mastered what I thought was impossible. And it made me fascinating like a magic, like the image of something that was unique, covered up with pride. Because I have become educated and gifted with knowledge. I have mastered the thing I thought I could never develop deep within the model of my mind. My qualification in all this has been highlighted in knowledge, something that is deep. I have reawakened my past and formed an image in my mind, and it has become a shadow creeping across reality. But first, I would love to share with you some poems that I wrote. I dedicate them to the ladies because I welcome the ladies to a beautiful moment of passion enriched with love. Because I have been a man celebrating myself in the game of love. I had many things in life, but I cherish the ladies with pride and I enjoy the most. Because they were the glory of my charm, something that brought remarkable things in my life. So crowd with me on a journey through love for a moment. A journey that will fascinate you and you become like a hawk upon a hill gifted with 1,000 eyes. For love is an experience that is deep, so fascinating and unique. When you adore the one you love and your green become highlighted with passion seen across the sky. And you cherish that feeling because to be loved is a wonderful experience built on trust and understanding. Now, I hope you ladies enjoy the passion of my imagination and appreciate the dignity of my image. I told this stuff, but this go deep in there, it's gonna get deep. Y'all ain't gonna hear nothing like this. Just accept the fact that we all are beautiful and nothing can change that. So I welcome each of you to a unique blend of thinking. First the first poem and then my story. And I hope you find grace in whatever you're trying to achieve in your life, but most of all find love. The first poem goes like this. This is the first poem. All these poems to the lady, they ain't for the guys. So I mean, they ain't about talking about I want you my girl and all that. But it's just me, you know, doing this. A woman should be loved, like passion seen across the world. A woman should be accepted with pride, enjoy the beauty that is seen inside. A woman should be cherished and included kind when she want love that are divine. So if you ever find one that is sweet, love with a love that is deep. The player. I'm a man of many styles. I grab women wild. They never know what it takes to make me smile. Cause I got some in the forms, I got some in the style. But I will blow her mind if she's a woman that are fine. I will take her hand and let her know that she's the one I cherish so. But these thoughts are just on in my mind, cause I haven't found the girl that will treat me kind.
I'm going to keep the project really short. This is my novel, Shattering Glass. I'm trying to self-publish it. I have to raise $5,600 to do this by the end of July. Now I'm $2,200 of the way there. This is all being done by Kickstarter, which is run by Amazon.com, and so it's all legit and on the up and up. If I don't make my goal, nobody gets charged a dime. People can give anything as little as $1, and any amount is really important to me because this is a new way of publishing, this is a new way of creating art, this is a new way of creating art in connection with community. But I don't want to go on about that too much. If you're curious about it, please ask me or Al. I think you could direct them to the website. At least check it out because I use Arlozan's wonderful song, Charlene the Bartender, and it's an incredible song. I'm just going to jump into the story and hope that you think it's awesome. But just the barest of context. This is sort of imagine like Harry Potter without music and experimental literature, kind of weird, and they're college kids, so they're dealing with more adult type stuff. It takes place at Archaic University. That's based on the University of Chicago, where I went to school. However, it takes place in the city of Archaic, Michigan. And don't tell anybody, that's right here. 10 years after the calamity of Archaic in spring, the city of Archaic was in dire straits. Blood ran in the gutters like wine, houses lit up like candles on a birthday cake. The population had fallen by more than half to just north of 100K. Property values had dropped just as quickly, a fact that was not overlooked by A. Olin, chair and president of the Olin Foundation and the wealthiest man in Archaic. Every respectable town has a benefactor. Archaic is no exception. For over 100 years, the Olins have subsidized municipal projects, cultural events, and organizations from block clubs to Rotary clubs to the local Freemasons and the Knights of Columbus. The family has been a lifeline to this city in its direst need, and they've also ensured that the commie elements in this left-leaning Union town stayed within their proper bounds, which is to say, in obscurity, tottering on an edge that drops off into oblivion. Well, the Archaean spring brought everyone's dreams to fruition. What followed, however, was pure nightmare, and neither the Pinkos nor the Olins could do anything about the situation until property values became as cheap as shit. This was a rare moment, they felt. A moment that harkened back to the turn of the century, 20th, when Christopher Olin had come into town and bankrolled a few brick buildings called X Automotives. It was a smart move. X became one of the largest corporations in the world, and Christopher became a dangerously wealthy man. Of course, fortunes have diminished with time, both for X and for the Olins. And by 2006, the clan had been reduced to a modest existence as non-sub-billionaires and a common source of names for parks and buildings. Yes, a rare moment indeed, they felt, elusive and precious. Soft veins and hard rock deep underground, for the land had become so cheap, tuition had become so high, that A could buy up some dilapidated neo-Gothic cathedral-esque things in one corner of town, commit his funds to recruiting faculty and renovating, and still have enough left over for a healthy endowment. He had always wanted to be a father. Now he would be a father of minds, which is perhaps the best kind of father in the end. He would build his school on the highest hill in Archaic. in the vacant Arkeene County Lunatic Asylum and powder it with the raw memories of the ruined town. He would name it Archaic University, and its single color would be gold. And so, in 2008, the old oak doors swung open to students for the first time, and they carried their tomes of Cervantes and Sterne and hundreds of sweaty moleskine notebooks. They may have been the very first students, but the history of the place pressed down upon them. Pyrotherapy, cardizol shock, and occasional stunning freedoms. The halls had all been fresh scrubbed and painted, but they smelled of the thickness of infinite dust. But even as the consciousness of earlier specters made cobwebs in the students' brains, they started, through their own activities, to etch some inscriptions of their own. What fantasies would the students write? How soon would this new mythology begin to intrude upon reality? Now, the whole thing's pretty weird, but this next part is weirder than usual, just sort of for bearings. September 2011. Ada arrives late in the day, and the sparks leap from one serrated battlement to the next. Here it is, her new home, Calliope Cradle, her dormitory, and it looks more like a castle. Not a fairy tale German palace, but a thick Slavic thing wearing a crumbling blanket of slate and dismay. She hauls her luggage up the ramp and through the vestibule to the courtyard. Her heavy-lidded eyes take in the wide, wide sky. She has an expressionless face that is always half asleep, unless she's sleeping. It's hard to tell if she's listening or not. She yawns sometimes, which might mean that she's awake but dozy. Sometimes she even picks up a pen, doodles out some equations. Not especially lifeful most days, but today she blinks. She blinks today. And those eyes, those blinks, shudder, shudder, are signs of startlement and discomprehension. Shudder, shudder. It's cool in there among the tart cherry trees that flank the stone path. Cool near the conspicuous gap, where lay the alleged graves of Hobbes and Wallace, worm-dueling post-death. There are 7 houses in Calliope Cradle, and they all vie and compete with each other. It isn't like Hogwarts, though. None of these houses are virtuous. In fact, each is dedicated to a different deadly sin. Ada finds her tiny bedroom in the first floor of the Cedia house, crushed between the lower rampart moat and the inner house lounge. It's a single. She'll have to watch how she dresses and undresses, because the curtains are dangerously diaphanous, and the room is in good view of the courtyard. They say that cougars and lions hunt out there. Ada sees students reclining under the pear trees, but these are the orientation designations. The brand new students are still too shocked and startled to lay at ease. Touring the dorm, everything seems to be a flavorful extreme. Bits of sugar crust the knife-scarred doors, and some say a recruited descendant of the Tsar's daughter comes by to replenish them with dappled frosting flowers that she makes herself. In the basement, beneath the cafeteria, the floor has been graffitied with dangerous proofs, teaching earthbound hydrogen fusion, and so doing the solutions to the wounds of love. As George Clinton says, it's the balm. Calliope Cradle is not the largest dorm, but it is the most remote, sprawling on the edge of Sellers Creek. Students have to cross the fairway to get to their classes, and while the firefly lanterns and xenon lamps flare all night long, Ada is a little nervous about the massive subterranean tunnels with whirring turbines and taut, tight mazes of chains. She's never heard of chain power before. She doesn't understand temporal electricity. She is an novitiate. Here tread experts. But she tries her best, which is to say a little bit. Ada leaves her luggage in her room and crosses the fairway and the quince to formally register at Olin Commons. She's been here before, as a 12th grade prospective, but the room seems larger now that it is filled with new students. They seem correspondingly small because they are nervous, and they don't know where to look or what to do with their hands. "Aye," says the boy ahead of her in line. She looks at him peripherally. She looks away. She doesn't want to talk. "I'm Sam," says the boy. "Okay, fine." "Oh. What's your name?" "Sorry, what?" "Ada." "You just got here today?" "Cool, me too." Sam is tall and slender and, gangly, with knobby knees and elbows and a face that looks almost triangular like a praying mantis. He has dark black skin and short cropped hair. He wears a bright orange t-shirt with a zombie dolphin's head exploding in a spatula print of blood. Sam seems way too confident for his awkward appearance. Gregarious would be a good word. "Man, this place is crazy," he says. "I've been here a lot, but I never knew how crazy it was. Those lights in those gardens are wild." But there's so many little hidden places all over. My dorm is a secret passage to the law library, and there's brick where the mortars are all crumbled apart, and it looks like there's a door behind it. I got a potato cannon, homemade, right? And I thought I might shoot some bricks out of it. I never shot a brick before. Go away, Edith thinks. You've been here a lot? As a prospect? She says instead. Why did I just say that? Who, me? Who else? Oh, not as a prospective student, or whatever. I'm from Archaic. I wanted to go to XAI, the Ex-Automotives Institute, but my grades weren't good enough. So I'm here to study engineering. Aeronautics, I think. What about you? Where are you from? Shut up, Ada thinks, and is about to say, but then the question catches in her brain. Where is she from? Since she arrived, the dorm, the moat, the tunnels and chains, and yes, the lights and gardens and all their pungent power, their pregnant presence, they all ride, is that the word? Past or slide, is that it? No, by or elide. They elide. They elide anything weaker or less vivid than themselves, like her memories of her home, her own dull memories of her own apathetic home. I don't know, she says. Iowa or Missouri or something. Davenport, she thinks. It's Davenport, with relief. Huh, says Sam. Well, it looks like I'm up. And he steps up to a desk and starts filling out forms. Ada meets her parents back at the cradle, and they spend the rest of the day in the vast dining hall with its poop deck and barrel-vaulted ceilings. And then she attends the Scholars' Designations Address, where suited vagrants project their aspirations of the university in Latin cadenced words, lorem ipsum and all that. And as the sun sets, Ada stands with her parents trying to recall their names. She awkwardly says goodbye. She makes herself give them a hug, but she's not accustomed to this. It feels strange. Her hands are almost limp around their waists. Back at the dorm, Ada goes to the bathroom to take a quick shower, to awaken her brain. Always tired, always bored, and there she runs into Sam. Hey, he says, you didn't tell me you were in the Cedia house? Blink, blink, startled. Did you tell me? Yeah, I did. Oh, she says. Well, I don't remember. Oh, well, anyway, what are you doing in the girls' bathroom? This isn't the girls' bathroom. All the bathrooms are co-ed. They are? Yeah, but you should look out there. And he points to an interior window of dull black glass. It's for ventilation, but it funnels lightning from the chain tunnels. I stood there for 10 minutes earlier, and I saw a big old bolt. Oh. Anyway, I'm off to the house meeting. I'll see you soon. He leaves. What's his name? How am I doing for time?
You're good.
Ada decides to skip the house meeting. She's too confused, too bedazzled to take on anything new. She wants refuge in her bedroom and in her memories. She wants to cultivate her nostalgia. She spends the rest of the evening unpacking and listening to the Black Eyed Peas. The end, the beginning, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes to sleep. She dreams her favorite dream. It's a dream about the time when she beat the computer at hearts twice in a row. While she dreams, things move just beyond her translucent curtain. Sam has gathered other first years in the courtyard, and they shoot old bricks at the moon from his potato cannon. Out on the fairway, the fireflies have escaped their cages, and they swarm the gate and delight on autumn pansies and daffodils. It gets later. Most of the orientees go inside to unpack or sleep. There aren't any designations drinking out on the lawn at this hour, and if they are, then they certainly aren't drinking Old Krupnik. Leave that amber honey for the poles. The grass isn't green this September. No, it's sharply emerald. It's turned purple now that it's nighttime. Ultraviolet is under a black light, yes. It is a black amethyst like moonside shadows. The branches shake. The oaks moan. Satyrs prance, and the designations, they don't ride them. No, satyrs kick when you do that. Bugs have sex on the peonies. Teresa Romanov licks her sugar flowers and belladonna buds. Pomegranate seeds that have the double bonus of prolonging life and acting as aphrodisiacs. Not that any naughtiness is happening here. Oh no, Old Krupnik only bends poles that way. And meanwhile, high ahead, a late wash of the Perseids commences. And while most of the stones remain stone and fizzle in the atmosphere, a few of them spin and shift, dihydroxygenate and turn wet. They fall. They hit the courtyard. The brambles, the trellises, the rambles and turning pages of Descartes that ripple in the sourceless, whisperless rain falling from a cloudless sky. The designations aren't kissing kissing in the alcoves. They don't do more than kiss. That's obscene. The brighter and sharper of the new students don't step out into the dark to drink the wine of Hestia and Lydia and get their feeling exotic kozel and the irregular stone walkway. Oh my, the cobbled boards where parasites hide, partisans' lances, mum scores, leaflets. It's going to be a late fall this year, balmy and barmy and strong. It's not going to get cold at all, not ever. This September lasts forever. It isn't going to change, though the leaves will gloat and grow and drop moon-shaped fruits to be eaten. The air is so thick you can suck it like a banana, and when you explode, your matter disappears. Orientation is dangerous. It cannot be helped. The RAs have been warned. They have warned the designations to pay special attention to listless students like Ada. After all, the things that are happening right outside her window flush with a passion and a havoc that is absent from her own very most cherished dreams. There is little hope not to dissolve to nothing. And even if she has one poignant last moment, pale face, heaving chest, dry eyes, numb panic as she tries and fails to remember her own parents' faces, she's just too dull for this place. It forgets her as it made her forget herself. The air goes thin, dusty, and cool. The walls become as the air, and her mind is stretched and expanded into sweet sleep. Her body has ceased to be. She fades away, erased from the universe. The designations do their best. They really do. Still, nobody bats 100. Every year, a few students are elided. Her professors notice that Ada is not coming to class. They either fail her or assume she's withdrawn. Housing doesn't notice the decline. They send bills to her parents. Ada, they say. Who's Ada? And then, one day, several weeks in, Sam goes walking down the hall of the first floor of the Cedia house. He stops when he feels something tug like a metal hook right beyond his aorta. It's the plain wood door to his right. It leads to a bedroom, to a single. Didn't someone used to live here, he says aloud? But the Tigers are on track for their 28th World Series win. Sam doesn't want to miss the Game 4 sweep. He continues down the hall and gets on with his life. Thank you.
How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for coming out and getting hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty's good sometimes, right? Anyway, thanks all the speakers, musicians, poets that come out tonight and to share and express and give a little to everybody. And we want to thank all you guys for giving. Anyway, I usually do some blues. I didn't bring my slide tonight, so I'm gonna do some stuff. It may come out a little bluesy anyway. All right, I'm gonna attempt to do a Beatles song here. Jojo was a man who thought he was alone, but he knew it could not last. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Sweet Loretta Martin thought she was a woman, but she was another man. All the girls around her said she got it coming. She gets it while she can. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. bet she got it coming. Well, she gets it while she can. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, yeah, get back to where you once belonged. Yeah, anyway, that's a short song, so I guess you gotta do a couple of lyrics over or something. Train up rolling round the bend. Haven't seen the sunshine, I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. When I hear that whistle blow down to San Antonio. Got a drum there. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, never play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blow, I hang my head and cry. Well, I bet there's rich folks that sit down in cars, probably drinking whiskey, smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had it coming. I know I can't be free. And those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. They free me from this prison, railroad train was mine. I bet I'd move it on farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I'm going to stay. And I'll let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Okay, I'll try one more country tune here by Jimi Hendrix. Okay. Well, after all the jacks are in the boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red, and the wind screams Mary. Yesterday's life. Somewhere a queen is weeping. Somewhere a king has no wine. And the wind cries Mary. sunset turn a blue tomorrow. In the shine of emptiness down on my bed, the tiny island it sags on down the street, 'cause the life it lived is dead. And the wind cries Mary. Will the wind ever remember all the names has blown in the past? And with his crutch, his old age, and his wisdom, it whispers no, this'll be the last. And the wind whispers Mary.
If you didn't get it at home, the Writers Circle, a component of the Creative Alliance, has this bi-monthly spoken word open mic at Churchill's Bar and Grill on the first Saturday of the second month. The next one's going to be August 3rd, which is the first Saturday in August. The one after that's going to be the first Saturday in October, and then the first Saturday in December. It's a series we have. It goes from 9 until 10, and it's all free, and then there's a free DJ, Michael A., with his Wayback Machine until 2 a.m., so you really don't want to miss that. This month, I'm not going to be here. I usually host. Terry Kinsey, the T-Funk, you guys might know him as the Farseer. He's going to be hosting. Definitely worth coming out. It's free. August 3rd, 9 to 10. Oh, there we go. You got to just speak into it. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just going to do a poem, then I'll read you guys a poem, and then we'll just go home. Is that cool?
Cool.
Cool. You're cool, Waco kid. I liked your versions. They were very cool. This first poem is just a piece of a poem, but it's the cool piece of the poem. And it's the start of a poem, so I don't gotta explain it. It starts out like this. There's a sick hipster appeal to living in a town this real. There's little here for fun, and home is hell for some who dip out to craft big city lives from the scraps of kings. And the best of us, hired as escape artists at age 18, but there's no need to blame those evacuees. They did their time. And only God knows what it means. And most fields in this city were first built up dreams, burnt down rapidly to erase bad memories. The boom times are gone, and so is prosperity. The only boom that makes money now involves liquor store robbery, and business is good. Behind weed, greed, and exploitation, it's the backbone of our economy. Heavens forbid someone forgive the need to survive when no one provides hope or a living salary. Now, unions established a false sense of security, but the ease of certain things, like summoning cash by smiling, smug, sawed-off bangs, reminds us the devil works in mysterious ways when coping with desperation or hunger pains, or if seeking alternatives to the martyrdom of minimum wage. Shit, even with paradise underfoot, inner demons still cause generational pain. Maybe instead of being the destitute descendants of opportunities haze, perhaps horny ski-masked demons is a more fitting phrase. I mean, isn't that what the headlines read? Action news spicing up the verbiage, planting seeds, and in TV times like these, everybody needs a sacrificial savior to disrupt the feed. Or a monk making a stand in gasoline, feel easy to take the lead. That's not me. Being seeking to a funeral by fire truck, you crack a beer and look as Arson City cashes in on bad luck and low self-esteem. Slashed wrists, spewing flames, delayed results of fools falling for a hangman's ring, while leaders drive with and foil ironies, trailed by folded factories. So I'm gonna read that one.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this Friday, I have this new open mic series that we're doing every single month. It's over here at Buckham Gallery. It goes to support Buckham Gallery. It's free, but we take donations for the gallery. It's called Free Coffee Open Mic. The deal is, if you come, if you donate, you get free coffee. It's usually from 7 to 9. It's only going to be this month from 7 to 8 because I got stuff to do. but we've been doing this new thing where we, during the whole process of the open mic, we write a collaborative poem, and I'm gonna read you guys our poem from this first section, and I invite all of you to come out, 7 o'clock, come on time and get in. It's good to listen, and it's good to put a few lines down. So none of this is deviated between sentences, it's just lines, and somebody else puts lines, and somebody else puts lines, so it's kind of like a jazzy, free flow kind of thing.
It's this Saturday?
It's this Friday.
This Friday at
7 o'clock until 8 instead of 9 this month.
At the Buckham Gallery.
At Buckham Gallery on 2nd Street off of Saginaw. So yeah, this is everybody putting their contribution in. And it goes like this. Temporary poetic installment. Java-fueled utterations. Nervously tapping away at the moments before we grace the spotlight. In the background, the city chatters. Voices echo off the whites of the walls. Courage makes its way through the floorboards. All have gathered for the spoken unknown or the known or just to be away from home. In togetherness we discover our hearts. The open or closed to the art of the voice and the pen or pencil or mind. Group speak or double speak concurrently. Harmonics in a major. Chords reaching to decibels. Mind-splitting space neurons. Dark matter. Everlasting sound waves absorbed into my ears, passed off to my brain, turning synapses into cheers. No booze here because I got booze in my cup, and by the way, we don't condone drinking at the event. No booze here because I got booze in my cup and invincibility flowing through my veins. Sonic boom, speech spat upon the stage with a splash and zoom. The coffee in the cup reverberates. So it's kind of jazzy and out there. It doesn't really end so much as continue. And actually, that's what I'm inviting you guys all to do, is come out and help continue this process. So we're gonna just keep writing these poems. They're available online, and I'll continue to bring them here for all you out there in TV land. So that's all I got. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for coming out. Give it up for Al and the Good Beans Cafe. Keep it going. And all the great people here at the Flint Underground, and of course, from the Creative Alliance. Thank you.